But I believe that Mr. Sadiq Abba should be ready now, Mr. Abba. Okay, Mr. Abba, what's your take? Pros and cons on the postponement. What's your position? Hello, Mr. Abba. Okay, we'll get back to Mr. Abba. All right, apparently I'm stuck here with you today. Okay, financial strain, the economy. Just before we came into the studio, I was talking to one of our economic financial analysts, and he said something that some businessmen in Nigeria have lost up to about $12 billion since this postponement.
I don't know where those figures are coming from, so I cannot comment on where the $12 billion have been lost and in what form, in what category, how have they been lost. I don't understand that. But I know for a fact that political parties have put forward a budget towards the election polls tomorrow, originally scheduled for tomorrow. And they had spent so much money towards that. And the fact that they are now going to go back to raise funds for, running a campaign for the next 6 weeks is bothering people. Now, businesses will always lose money. The reason they are losing money is obvious. The oil benchmark has really fallen drastically, well below $50 at the moment. Stocks are falling rapidly at the stock exchange. And I know for a fact that the economy is wobbly at the moment. I also know for a fact that a lot of state governments are not getting, the allocations as at when due. They are behind, and when they are paid, the full amount has not been paid. So people are suffering, salaries are not being paid, and so on and so forth. So we have massive economic issues to cope with at the moment. But whether the current government can, cope with it is why the APC is, coming against them and saying, listen, we're not quite happy with how this economy has been run. We need a different template.
Question will come back, but the question many are asking is, how would you do things different? We're coming back to that question as we move on now to talk to our correspondent, Imani. We spoke to her earlier in the day, and she told us a couple of things about what's going on in Cross River State. Let's flip over and hear what she told us earlier in the day. Imani.
PVC distribution is ongoing across the 18 local government areas of the state, and according to the Resident Electoral Commissioner, 85% of PVCs have been distributed, but there seems to be difficulty getting these cards available to Bakassi indigents who are residents in Cameroon following their displacements. I spoke with one of their natural leaders some days ago in the person of Senator Florence Itagiwa, and according to her, modalities are being put in place to see that those who registered are brought back to the state to get their PVCs and, of course, get ready for the coming elections. It is hoped that her words will be matched with actions.
Well, our correspondent Imani, she spoke to us earlier in the day about the situation in Cross River State. I do have some comment here, and this reaction to what, in the course of our discussion, Adesonya Olugbenga says, 20 million people, that is enough grounds to postpone election within the limit allowed by law.
You asked me to react to that. What I'm saying is that at the time that figure was raised, which was about 10 years ago, we are talking about a different scenario as at today. I'm not saying I'm not bothered about the fact that 20 million people may be disenfranchised. Don't forget, during the last election, only about 53% of eligible voters actually went to the polls. Generally speaking, Nigerians need to be encouraged to go and vote. And if you now create a situation where they cannot even vote, they will stay at home. I'm not denying all of that.
All right.
So
thank you so much,
that's just how it goes.
Thank you for speaking to us. So Shey Odutoye is a member of the All Progressives Congress. Well, let's go over and find out what the people are saying on the streets and from the polls as we join Mary Alale Yusuf. Mary.
Thank you, Niota. Many Nigerians see the postponement of the elections in the country as an opportunity for INEC to complete the distribution of voter cards before the deadline of Sunday, March the 8th. And people also await with bated breath the final overthrow of insurgency in the nation. Others are not so optimistic that these goals can be achieved. Here again is the question we are polling you on this week. Do you think the postponement of general elections by INEC is Justified? Options are yes, no, and don't care. To vote, go to channelstv.com, click an option, and click vote. Some have come to terms with the postponement of the election and the new dates fixed by INEC in Niger State. But they are saying the electoral body had better be ready come March 28th. There are still some rumbles of dissatisfaction in Abuja, and one wonders if voter enthusiasm has been affected. And in Ondo, someone is asking what he feels is a very important question. Let's watch.
From every indication, I noticed INEC was not really ready. The voters' card has not been distributed widely.
INEC said the security said they require 6 weeks. Let Nigerians give them the benefit of doubt of that 6 weeks. One, to see that they deliver on what they promised, which is to fight the insurgent to a standstill.
INEC were trying to use security excuse and not to expose their own shortcomings.
I have to rush down to Abuja to tally up some things, and if care is not taken, I may likely not go back to Kano and cast my vote.
There is no problem. If it is only based on security reason, there is no problem. But if there is hidden agenda, we Nigeria, we are concerned. We are not happy.
Postpone the election because of security. Look at it. Is this soldier that is going to defend the democracy? I mean, is this soldier that will be in where we are voting?
Is these 6 weeks enough for them to rectify or to provide enough security for that place?
I support and now will give us a lot of time to prepare against the election now.
It's not always a serious matter, and some people are not thinking of security and collection of PVCs. This young man has a take all his own.
It's good because of the Valentine's Day that is online tomorrow. Then it's good because the program I'm facing is school. Likewise, they're doing the examination in University of Nigeria. Then we purposely they postponed the election till next week because of the election.
That's all we have for you on Talk Back tonight. Back to you, Niota.
Thank you, Mary. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and though waiting for the elections, those that need to share their love will go ahead and share them. We'll take a break. I'll come back to continue our conversations. This time, we'll switch caps to look at the internally displaced people and how they are coping with PVC collection and preparations for the elections. Join us again.